The host United States of America lit up the T20 World Cup yesterday after that upset against Pakistan. You know, it was a really late night, but I had to go back home and watch that super over again because it was such a nail biter. Are their neighbours, Canada, going to get inspired and win today, or is Ireland going to pick up those 2 points? We'll find out this and much more because I've got two encyclopedias in the house. The OG Wikipedia Joy Bhattacharya and PPpedia Parthiv Patel. Welcome. It feels very intimidating to be sitting here with two first benchers.
You call me CBSE Bhattacharya?
Yeah, but first in CBSE.
First in
CBSE.
So I had to sit on first bench. If I would sit on the last bench, I wouldn't see anything. So I had to sit on first bench. That's the reason why I'm a first bencher.
No, that's the reason he's a first bencher, but he's also gotten just as studious sitting on that first bench. So it's very intimidating, Parthiv sir, to be here in front of you and talk about Canada and Ireland. But before we get to that game, we have to talk about what we saw yesterday. Mind-blowing game, and talk of the town is Saurabh Netravalkar. Joyda, you've made his day. Let's chat about that.
No, I didn't make his day. I just saw what had happened a long time back, because Saurabh Netravalkar is a fantastic story, because I remember in 2008, post the first IPL, John Buchanan wanted to do a series of just see young Indian talent. So one of those trials was in Mumbai, and those days nobody was doing anything. And this young kid came and bowled. And of the names, and yesterday I went through my list of KKR stuff, and it was there. This guy is a prospect. We should sign him immediately. Even if he doesn't play now, we should play him later. And then I remember calling him up, and he had other things to do in those days. He was studying for his examinations. Yes. So.
But also he made it to your joy factor, I think, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So we see.
But that's a blast from the past. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So he was. Everyone gets these answers, but this was back in 2021, July, when he was a part of your joy factor.
No, he was. And you always have a very soft spot for people like that. And look, I'll tell you one thing. I just want to say, with no particular bias, I hate Saurabh Netravalkar. No, I don't mean I hate Saurabh Netravalkar. He's the kind of kid who makes us feel very inadequate. Okay, He's an engineer, went to study engineering, computer science at Cornell.
Yes.
Okay, one of the best institutes. Works at Oracle. Okay, one of the best in the world. Plays cricket at an international level. Wins a Super Over against Pakistan. Plays the ukulele.
And sings.
And sings. Lovely voice. I liked his voice. And is a nice guy. It's unfair on all other men. That's just not fair. One guy is not supposed to have that much. That's my point.
Well, he's had a lot, but have you spent time with him? Because I think he was playing under Zach at some point.
He was, and I think I've played against him. I don't remember which year, but I remember a Vijay Hazare game where he got me out on first ball. He bowled, I remember the game at the old Motera Stadium where he bowled a bouncer first ball, and I got out to him. But he was definitely, he had that zip, he had that talent which we always talk about. And he has represented India under 19.
Yes.
You just don't represent India under 19 if you don't have skills. And he has done well. But as Joyda said, there are a lot of other things. You always look at the, plan B. Your first reaction or first thing in your life is when you're playing cricket, you want to represent India. Yes. And then if that doesn't happen, maybe, as you said, that he has played under Zach. So he wasn't getting that opportunity because Zach was obviously still playing for Mumbai. But then he goes on to US and become an engineer. And he's a great mimic as well. He can do brilliant mimicry. We've seen that, I think he imitates Mahendra Singh Dhoni really well. We've seen that.
Is there no end to his talent?
This list goes on. If we go on talking about his talents, the time for the show will get over. So if we talk about what's happening today, Ireland and Canada take on each other. Ireland have won the toss. They've decided to bowl first. But because of what this man with all these talents did yesterday, this Group A has really opened up. It's kind of just woken up. It's like World Cup has been shaken up after what happened yesterday.
Yeah, because see, what actually happens is when you look at these groups, when the ICC makes these groups, the way they do it is say, who are the likely first two positions and what's likely to happen. So the way they looked at it was, okay, your top two positions are likely to be India, Pakistan. So they'll win all their games, assume they'll win on their games. They might, who beats whom will be first or second. That's all. Maybe Ireland is the only one who makes a threat.
Yes.
Okay. Now what's happened is these guys coming, USA coming and beating Pakistan has now changed that entire table. Because now what happens is that actually it benefits Ireland even more, because Ireland has only lost to India, which is a game that you would expect them to lose. But they know now they can actually, if they win their remaining games, their game against Pakistan can be a shootout in terms of points. And even without winning that game, they could end up on the same number of points as Pakistan.
Yes.
So I think because India could beat Pakistan as well, so Pakistan could lose too, and they could end up on the same number of points. And that also is an interesting situation. So it's opened up for a whole lot of things. If the USA holds their nerve, USA beats one more team, USA beats Ireland, they'll also be on 6. So, PP, fantastic.
It is.
Who imagined this scenarios.com is going to happen so early on? Through the IPL, we used to have this scenarios.com. We're already in it in Group A.
Yeah, and this World Cup needed it.
Yes.
I think that till now
You're
the
right.
World Cup was going very low. The games are being played at 6 a.m. in the morning. Not many people watching it. There was one super over already in this World Cup, but not many people have taken notice of this. But actually, as rightly when you opened up, you said that Pakistan have lit up the World Cup, and only Pakistan could do it. The way they've played yesterday, they looked rusty, and the kind of team which they are, I think they actually come under pressure when there are expectations from there to win. If you look at the last World Cup also, they were almost thrown out. They were not in contention, and suddenly out of nowhere they came in and come the final, and they succumbed to that pressure. Even before that 2023 World Cup, there was expectation of them playing in subcontinent. I'm talking about the 50-over World Cup, where probably they would have been one of the 4 semi-finalists, but there also they didn't qualify. So I think Pakistan has a lot to look at, and look at their team yesterday. I mean, super over when you had Shadab Khan had to come and hit runs for you guys. So that means there's definitely no power hitters. And I don't think they're making right choices as far as their bowling is also concerned. If Haris Rauf is bowling 150, why do you need to bowl Yorkers? You can just bowl top of the length, and which he did. He got Gauss out with that good length. So they are not making right choices at this point of time.
But Pakistan, India, USA, everyone's going to be sitting very closely and watching this game clearly. Of course, because America is taking on Ireland next, and India and Pakistan for that pitch that they're going to be playing on, they're going to be watching it very closely.
In fact, yeah, that's the thing, which is why today you could have closed your eyes and said whoever wins the toss will bowl, because they don't know which pitch will turn up. The ICC now has made a statement 2 days back saying that they want to do this pitch, and they recognize the pitch has not been as consistent as they want. World-class grounds have been working. So they've been working world-class. They're using all the right words. I know how to make these statements. I've made many of them in the past. But you can make out that they're saying, we are in trouble. We are doing the best we can. PP, I want to ask you something. Kya kar sakte ho? Honest answer, what can you do to the square and what can you do to the outfield?
I don't think you can do much out of it. First of all, I think you got to give a round of applause to ICC for recognizing it. Yet it's very difficult when you're on top, when you have such a powerful body, to just accept it that we are in trouble. And see, everyone has put in their effort. There is no doubt about it. But with drop-in wickets, you always need some more time. Maybe the timing could have been better. Maybe they could have taken more time before World Cup started. Few games they would have played. So they might have had a fair bit of idea of how this drop-in wicket will behave. But here, because it is drop-in wicket, there isn't much you can do. The only thing which you can do is just keep on rolling it, and that's the only option. Otherwise, you can't grow grass overnight, or you can't just fill in the cracks which are there on the pitch. So it is going to be difficult. Yeah, I mean, with this kind of effort which they are putting in, the 100-run game will become 130, 140. I mean, that could be good enough for the kind of the hard work which they are putting in. But yeah, I think that there's not much you can do about this.
But it's not just the pitches, right? Like even the outfield has been a major concern, and I think we know that the master used to go with his tape and measure the grass and all of that and get it cut. So is that what we can expect in the outfield at least?
That's also can't happen, because it's these are the slabs which have put in here. The grass is also not grown on that sand.
Deep.
It's not that deep. There's a lot of sand in that grass. So once you cut that grass, then you will get to see only sand. And so that's also another problem. But yeah, you will get that slow outfield as long as it's not dangerous. So that should be fine. So it doesn't look like a dangerous outfield. Yes, you have to be careful diving, because your knee might get stuck into that outfield. That's something which player will have to be wary of. But this is what it is. You as a team, you are going to play in such conditions. So if I'm in the dressing room, if I'm coach of that side, I would say, forget the conditions. No, now try and get the best out of what you can do here. This is the World Cup. We have to take those 2 points and then go to West Indies and then see how we play from there. But these are the conditions and take the best out of it.
Well, clearly, like we said, India, Pakistan, America, everyone's going to be watching what this pitch, what the outfield is going to offer. Ireland, of course, are bowling first. Let's have a look at Ireland's playing 11, see if they have any changes. They have that one change. They've got Craig Young in their playing 11. Joyda, any surprises?
No surprises. That means that Harry Tector is fit. And that's good news for them because he's one of their top batters. He got hit yesterday.
Yes.
And he looked as if he could be a doubtful candidate. He being back is big for them because rest of them, this is a set team. They have very, very good bowlers. Mark Adair, Joshua Little. They have a very good fast bowling attack. They have Sterling, Balboni, or Tector, Lorcan Tucker in the middle. Look, let's forget everything else. Let's not forget this is a test team.
Yes.
We don't see it like that, but they're a test team. They've had test status. And to get test status means your players are a certain class of international player. And therefore, when we compare them to Canada, you have to say that the odds are stacked against Canada. This is a good, solid outfit. At least 6-7 of them play international county cricket on a regular basis. They play a lot more international cricket than Canada would have access to. And most importantly, they're playing in leagues around the world.
Yes.
So this is a very seasoned outfit.
And they have that experience of playing against bigger teams as well.
Nations.
All the teams who tour England, they actually hop onto Ireland and either play a three T20 game series or an ODI series, or sometimes you even play one test match. So they have that experience of playing against bigger nations. So in terms of experience, in terms of talent, in terms of knowing their game, but obviously Ireland will start favorites in this game, and on top of that they won the toss. I think that will also help because they have a good bowling lineup. They were consistent even against India. I thought there were a lot of times where Rohit got beaten, Virat got beaten, Rishabh Pant also got beaten, though they didn't get out, but they still have that quality. So Joshua Little was trying to get it too full. Maybe if they hit the right length, just pull it back a bit. I think this might just be another low scoring affair.
You spoke about their bowling, and there's also Mark Adair who's been very impressive. The other night, things didn't go quite well for Ireland, but when you get Virat Kohli's wicket, you go home in the night and you just go to yourself and say, yes, I've got the big man. And Mark Adair likes getting these big players. Even against Pakistan, he got the big three in Pakistan. When he started off, his first wicket was Marcus Trescothick. So clearly, he likes getting the big names.
Yeah, and look at that. So strike rate of 13 is absolutely fantastic. And I think that's the thing with somebody like a Mark Adair, again, experience of top international sides. And one of the things that he's saying, it's a very important thing that, one problem that all the bowlers are having, that especially if you're coming from, say, the subcontinent or playing in the PSL, is that you're trying to do length is dead. The worst thing you can do is bowl length. Okay, so you're either bowling short of a length and trying to get up here, or you're trying for your Yorker. And given how much this pitch does, perhaps length is the best ball. So for their problem is that what length I bowl, your instinct is to try and go Yorker, where if you held the length, the pitch will do enough for you. So that's the big story for them. All of them have to readjust their lengths. And then again, who knows what the tracks will be in the West Indies, they'll have to adjust again. But those are the kind of things that will happen. And I think that's where a lot of players get stuck out. I mean, he was talking yesterday about Harry Stauf. That's all the same thing. I mean, he was probably bowling a bit much fuller than he should.
But Parthiv, even Mark Adair, we saw the other day when India played Ireland, the ball was really moving around. Like Arshdeep was not really, he got I think some 8 wides in that over. He likes to get the ball in, Mark Adair. And with these conditions, what do you think he should do if it's moving around too much?
It doesn't have to do much. He just have to go out there and think of test match bowling. Usually whatever he does in county cricket or whenever he is playing in Ireland, that's the length that Joyda is talking about. Usually that length is which we see in the graphing on the TV, that 6 meter to 8 meter length. Once you hit that 6 meter to 8 meter length, you anyway are going to get that swing. It is full enough to get that swing. And from there, if you're hitting the seam correctly, then it might just seam across, or there will be a variable bounce also. So I think that's something which all the Ireland bowlers should try and do initially, and not to think too much. Though obviously there will be a lot of data with a lot of matchups and everything comes into play, and that's the mistake I thought Ireland made against India, where they tried to go really full against Rohit Sharma, the left Joshua Little especially. That's when he bowled those full tosses and gone for runs. Instead, you just have to go back, test match bowling, length And if batter comes out and tries hit you over long off, that's fine. That's what a batter can do. And if the ball moves around, and even if he tries to play a shot like that, which we saw what happened with Virat Kohli.
Yes.
In an outside edge, there's enough pace to get carried to third man. So just simple is probably the formula which Ireland and anyone who's playing in New York should be thinking about.
Well, simple is the formula for the bowlers, but the batters are going to have a lot that they're going to be thinking about because of this pitch. Let's have a look at Canada's playing 11. They're going to be batting first. They've got that one change. Junaid Siddiqui's come in. And I think Nikhil Datta is out.
We had suggested that Nikhil Datta probably would not play yesterday because, I mean, he hadn't got a great outing. And look, this is again a pitch which is not, you don't need a big spinner of the ball or a leggy. You need just people to hit length and let the ball do its damage itself. And I think that's what they've gone. They've gone in for another seamer. They've gone in for a different kind of attack. And I think it's suitable. And under these conditions, you need a leggy when the pitch is doing nothing and all that. Leggy is more, it's a weapon you need. Perhaps you don't under these circumstances. Not that kind of weapon.
Parthiv, their most experienced name there, of course, is their captain, 37 years old. He's been loyal to Canada since 2008. He's their veteran there and kind of doing everything he can for Canada. And what can we expect from him? Because we know he, has gone into those record books in November when he got 4 overs, 4 maidens and got those 2 wickets. So we know what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's again, that with the favourable bowling conditions, he doesn't have to do anything. And apparently she was telling me she's done a proper research on the captain. She's done a 1 hour research.
I saw a really nice 1 hour interview on him, but you tell me what we can expect in these conditions.
So these conditions will suit him. His style of bowling more stump to stump, doesn't have to do too much of things. So that's exactly what they'll try and do. But I think before that, Canada's batters will have to make sure that they get some runs. They try and get to at least 120 so that bowlers come into play. I think for bowlers to come into play, they'll have to get some runs. But again, simplicity is something which that Canada should be trying thinking of. And when you're talking about their batting lineup, power play becomes more crucial. Not in terms of, if you're talking about IPL, we were talking about runs in terms of in first power play.
Yes.
But here it'll be about how many wickets you can keep in hand. This is not a 60, 65, 70 run power play ground. You just probably need 40, but don't lose more than 1 wicket so that you reach a target of 130, 140, and then bowlers will come into play.
Joyda, what I did go through in my interview is that he was actually a pacer. And then he had a back injury. He's idolized Wasim Akram, and then he realized that it's easier to be a spinner on the back. And that's how he became a spinner. And father being a doctor, he has a fear of needles, which I found quite interesting.
I have a fear of needles.
Is there
you don't have a fear of needles? Oh, I'm terrified.
Is there a word for it? The fears?
I think there is a word for it, which I can't seem to remember. But I'm also a left-arm bowler, which is why I used to always tell Wasim Akram when he was in KKR that between the two of us, we have 916 international wickets. 2 bowlers, 916 between them. It's a good thing. But no, interesting. And again, I like it because all these guys are a product of the tape ball cricket. Typical one-side tape. But look, that's what. He's a very, very sharp bowler. Against any opposition, bowling 4 overs, it may be Panama, but bowling 4 overs and taking wickets and not giving a single run in 4 overs is a record. It is a world record. So we have to say. In fact, I thought of it as a joy factor question, but I said that, this has been discussed too often. We can't go there anymore. But that's the thing. And you see, one of the great things about smaller sides is Canada is a lot of their top players turn out to be all-rounders because you have to do everything. You have to bat also, you have to bowl also, you are the club pro. So they tend to be like that. So he's a decent bat as well. He's a decent bat. He's played a lot of Caribbean Premier League as well. So he's played Canadian League as well. So he has given a lot to the team. That's what I'm saying. And experience matters. And he will be looking at it and saying, this is a huge opportunity for us.
Well, I have a huge opportunity in my hands because I've got the 2 encyclopedias here. So I have decided that it's match number 13. So we are going to do a little bit of a quiz. Everything around this quiz revolves around the number 13.
I can only tell you one thing before because this is the one thing I do know. The fear of the number 13 is called triskaidekaphobia.
Oh, that
I
is
can't pronounce that.
Triska Deka.
Krista.
Triska. Try.
Triska.
Triska.
Triska Deka. Deka means 3, 10 phobia. 13 phobia.
Triska Deka.
Learning. Lots of
See,
learning.
this is what happens when the actual Wikipedia is.
Actual Wikipedia and Wikipedia.
I know stray facts here, there, Mahu Thakur, anyway.
अच्छा, but can you do the चलिए आप और हम खेलते हैं कौन बनेगा करोड़ आवाज में कर दे. I know
I like it.
No, that's
I like it.
That's you. You can do this.
no, I know you've got these skills which you don't show to the
Yeah,
world.
I like the way he said, Saurabh is a marvelous mimic.
Yes.
He never spoke about himself.
Never spoke about himself.
No, I can't. I'm very
Okay, let
Okay,
him off.
you're the participant, so I'm not going to do the avaz, but I'm going to get to these questions. So like I said, everything revolves around the number 13. So first up, any of you can go first. We'll give the junior in the house a chance.
Yeah, junior.
PPpedia, Wikipedia. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Parthiv, which team played to chase down 13 runs in the final over of a T20 World Cup? आपके options है India, Sri Lanka, England and Pakistan.
Which team won or which team failed?
Failed.
Failed. I think, was it Pakistan? Yeah, it has to be Pakistan. First World Cup, yeah, Pakistan. Because Pakistan lost yesterday, so I'm just thinking, I'm putting producer's head. Then they're talking about Pakistan.
He knew the answer.
No, I
He
knew the answer. The only thing I remember with that is how all of India, the way Srishant caught that catch,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
thought he's 100% going to
Yeah.
drop it. Ball went up like that, we're like, God,
I think
what's going on?
all of us have memories around that particular 13, don't we? Joyda, this is for you. What was India's fixture in their maiden T20 World Cup match on September 13, 2007? Do you even need the options?
No, I know this and I'll tell you why. This is Scotland because this is a lot of guys were supposed to make their T20 debut and it didn't happen and then they played the next day and the debut happened. I mean, the next match. So this is Scotland. It was rained out. Yeah, which was the Pakistan bowl out, the famous bowl out, Robin Uttappa cap.
Oh, this is that year.
This is that year, 2007 World Cup. Same all. Because before, see, the first T20 match is 2005. So very little T20 cricket has happened by then.
All right, number 3 for you. Which side won a T20 World Cup final on November 13th? Options चाहिए या your...
I don't know actually.
नहीं बट ये लॉजिकल है सर. सोचो अगर नवंबर में मैच है तो कहाँ खेल रहे हैं?
November, then it has to be Australia. Then it has to be last World Cup. See, this is what the last World Cup.
See,
then it is England.
this is how the quiz master does it.
Yeah, that's
Quiz
what.
master knows how to
No, but-
decode the questions. These questions are too simple for you.
No, not simple. I don't remember anything. I remember lots of stuff before 1999. 21st century में मेरा ज़्यादा memory नहीं है. Anyway.
Okay, so this
So,
answer
is
is
England.
decoded for you.
Yeah.
As a team, you all have made a lot of money
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far. Number 4, who stunned South Africa in the 2022 T20 World Cup game by 13 runs? This is very simple.
Go for it, boss.
This is Netherlands. This
is too simple.
Too simple question.
Yeah. This is that 1,000 rupee wala question, I think. Cancel it.
Okay.
5th one. On their 13th meeting across World Cups, did Pakistan manage their first win over India? Who was the player of the match?
This is the last World Cup, no? 22.
No, not last World Cup.
Then the one before
This
that.
is their
That was
13th
Dubai
meeting
World-
across
it has
World
to be-
Cup.
Dubai 21.
21, yeah.
Options? Or you all don't
So
need it?
Pakistan won by 10 wickets, that game. Yeah, Pakistan won by 10 wickets.
हाँ, they blew us away.
Correct.
अच्छा, तो फिर
Then Shaheen Shafri.
See, you all are too smart. You all don't need
Yeah,
the options only.
Yeah, but say, Babar got runs, Rizwan got runs, but Shaheen Shafri came in and took those 2 wickets early on.
Correct.
I think that made the difference.
So I think the victory that PPpedia and Wikipedia have, you all have earned enough money to buy us wasabi prawns today.
We will buy
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to both of you. I've got some interesting questions coming along because I had quiz questions. We've got our fans asking us questions. Supratim Pal asks us, realistically, see either Ireland nor Canada winning the World Cup, but a good performance here and a global spotlight equals to franchise contracts on the way. Is that the motivation for these minnow side players? Parthiv Patel ji, you've been the scouter for the longest time.
Yes.
Put on that scouting hat and tell us.
So, I have this theory when we all talk about this normal the non-test playing sides. Ireland is test playing side, but we all say that they have nothing to lose. But I look at it that they have everything to gain from here. First an experience of playing World Cup, playing at a bigger stage, thinking of World Cup, handling the pressure. And the other thing is, because there's so many leagues around, it used to be only IPL. So get an IPL contract for an associate nation or someone who's not regular in international cricket is always tough. But for these teams, IPL may not be the last. They won't be looking at IPL straight away, but they will have chance of getting a contract at T20, CPL, or Bangladesh Premier League, or PSL for that matter. So this could be World Cup could be the stepping stone for them to get into IPL and get to a contract where that could change their life. Someone like Joshua Little is a great example of that. He's played a lot of cricket, but then he played PSL, bowled well, got an IPL contract. Before that, I think they can think of, they could idolize the Afghanistan team.
Yes.
Look at what Afghanistan has done. Look at Rashid Khan has done, or look at Noor or Gurbaz. There are enough Mohammad Nabi. There are enough examples. These guys have played so much of associate nation cricket and then got into a franchise cricket, and then that actually eventually helped their nation. Eventually helped Afghanistan to do really well. So there are both ways of looking at it. First, personal glory. I think that is required, and then you share your experience with the bigger teams, and that would help you to win tournaments, win games.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And there's one more thing I want to add to it. Is the guy who never thought he'd play a World Cup. Because, I'll tell you why. Because I worked 4 years with FIFA. Okay. Like India playing a football World Cup, you tell anyone, actually Sunil Chhetri used to say, one chance to play a World Cup.
That's,
okay? So when we in cricket, we don't think of it that way. Hame jeetna hai, otherwise we don't even think of a World Cup as anything. But for so many, just to play a World Cup in a game which I played. And for a player like Saurabh Netravalkar, he's not necessarily looking for an international contract. Uske liye hai, get the chance. My dream was to play a World Cup. I'm bowling in a World Cup against Pakistan. So that dream is also there, because remember, a lot of these associate nations have part-time cricketers. And they may be cricketers. They may be, you look at, Zafar of Pakistan. He's 37 years old, played cricket all his life. And the first time he's playing a T20 World Cup, what a big thing it is. So that is also a dream. It's a dream come true also for some people.
No, it's a big deal. But like you mentioned, Joshua Little, that's that one name that has stuck, because he's comes from Ireland, but he kind of came in, got those big wickets. He's got that hat trick. We know what all he's done. And he's going to be bowling for Ireland when he comes in to bowl very soon. Parthiv, he and you have something in common though, huh?
I don't know what is
the common thing is that he also had to pull out of a game to write an exam. I think you also had to. You all were too young, so you'll have to sit and study and give your exam.
So I was actually studying during 2003 World Cup, where I had taken my books.
Your 12th boards.
12th boards, but by the time I came in, the exams were over, so I didn't get that chance of studying or not giving exam. I didn't pull out of the World Cup because there was office. But yeah, I was actually studying during that World Cup in 2003.
But Joshua Little, Joyda, the left armour looks very impressive. Do you think he's one of the best in the business?
I think he's one of the best in the business, and no, it's tough. It's tough because he's a top player everywhere. It's just that comes to the IPL, and maybe the conditions are not totally suitable for a bowler of the kind of bowling that he does. And secondly, it also depends on team composition. So what the IPL does is a lot of top cricketers will come here and just sit. Because there's nothing else. Markram, how many games has he played? So that's the thing. But he's a class international bowler. And I think that's what all these guys will be doing. Their coaches, national coaches will be calling them and saying, just keep bowling in the nets, be ready, be this thing. Because you're not playing for 2 months internationally, playing cricket, match cricket for 2 months is a big time.
Yes.
So he needs to be ready, and he's very important to this team. Because, Adair and he are the two destroyers up front. And these kind of pitches, if your matches are going to be 120, 140 matches, then these are the most important players you're going to have.
You said he's very important for this team. What can the team also do to kind of safeguard and make sure that he doesn't jump ship, because we know that with these smaller nations, they kind of want to go and play for the bigger nations. What can Ireland do to kind of save him and keep him for Ireland?
I think it is a very difficult thing, because Ed Joyce used to play for Ireland.
Yes.
Owen Morgan used to play for Ireland, and then went on to play for England and actually captained England into World Cup victory as well. So yeah, I mean, for them it is very important to make sure that they keep providing him the facility which is needed. Keep playing good brand of cricket, so that that player stays in their team. And for that you have to it becomes a responsibility of coaches, becomes a responsibility of a captain and the whole board as well. To make sure that they keep playing and they start winning. Because as a player, you want to stay in a team where teams winning. I think that is something which you enjoy the most. No matter how many 5 wickets he'll take, but if the team's not winning, then you don't enjoy staying in that team. So if you are a world class player, you want your team to win. I think that is probably the biggest thing.
And what happens to a lot of these players is, the moment you get small to big, okay. So Afghanistan used to be the dada of the associates.
Yes.
But once you come to Test, you're the kid, okay. Especially Test cricket, they're the kids.
Yeah.
And similarly, Ireland is in the same situation. They are the small guys. They were the dadas of the associate nation. Now they've come, everyone around them is a big. So that is one thing. So they don't win as much as they used to. Obviously, it's bound to happen, because you're going to play much better teams.
Well, I feel like that kid when we come to this section of the show, because the Dada is sitting here. So Joy Dada, please go for it.
This is more of a question which I love the answer, which is why I'm asking it. If you do not include players from the subcontinent, which cricketer has the most T20 international runs? And it's an answer that might surprise a lot of people. Easy enough.
Easy.
But yeah, I
But
like
it's
it.
never
because-
easy.
Yeah.
He says it's easy, but it's never
Because
easy.
he knows it.
He knows it, so it's easy.
Yeah.
But what is also not easy is our prediction game. Now that
You
you've
guys
come to the English studio here, we want you to go first.
So my score is also 0 in Hindi also.
mine is also 0.
I've not opened my account.
Look, we play on good pitches.
Yeah.
We don't play on pitches like this.
This game.
This is a tukka pitch.
This is a tukka pitch. So
I'll just give you 1 second. It's 2 balls, 4 runs. So
okay. So I was going to say 90, but now I'll say 94.
because the 4 runs. 94.
What? 103.
94, 103. That pressure is not there. I can say whatever I want to now. So I will say 96.
That's very close.
It's close, but we can all win. We've all become accommodating here at Cricbuzz.
Bombay University
which
में
we
admission मिल जाएगा. 96 से
बस वही चाहिए. We want this admission. CBSE Bhattacharya will give me that stamp of admission if we get it or not. We'll be giving you all the updates at the 10 over point, and because our encyclopedias have won the quiz, they're going to buy me some wasabi prawns. We will see you all at the 10 over point in the Cricbuzz com box. See you all soon.